And if once we have a shift of structure, that should be exactly what we would need to then have the full push through. Now, that's not the ideal trade setup. It's a great entry. The ideal trade setup is to wait for that to play out, get that extra confirmation, and then enter the trade here. This is the trade that you actually want to be taking, because now you have confirmation that it actually rejected this area and that it actually created the head and shoulders. And you're trading basically this same pattern right here. Left head, right shoulder, retest, engulfing sell. This is a trade that 7 out of 10 times is supposed to have the move to the downside. This is just 1 out of those 3 moves out of 10 that won't do it, but won't do it temporarily. Like, there's just a small time frame loss because you're taking a trade at a 4-hour area of interest. You're not taking a trade at a daily area of interest. If you notice, price made it up to that daily area of interest and then had the rejection once again back to where we entered or would have entered the trade. So taking the trade here at the retest of the neckline of the head and shoulders is not a bad trade, but it's not the best trade because you obviously don't have your stop loss above the daily area of interest. You're not going to do that because it's just not going to fucking make sense when it comes to the risk reward. But what matters is that you know exactly the type of trade that you're taking. You're taking a trade in a 4-hour area of interest, and things like this are bound to happen. It's just part of the game. Compared to when you have things at a daily area of interest, the odds of it breaking through it are a lot higher, which is why I would like this trade right here. Because if for whatever reason my stop loss does get hit, that means that I was completely wrong. And this shit is now about to shift from bearish to being completely bullish and then going to the upside. So that's just the different points of views of taking the trade here and taking the trade here. Taking the trade here gives you a much better confirmation and a much less risk, quote unquote. Entering here gives you a much better reward, but also a little bit less of a confirmation because you don't have the rejection, but also more confirmation because your stop loss is at the point where if it does get hit, you're fully wrong. Here, if your stop loss does get hit, you technically won't be fully wrong because it could just make it right back up to this area of interest, reject it one more time, and then have the push. If all that made sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. I talked a lot there pretty rapidly. And I actually like that this is happening right now because it's happening live. Beautiful explanation. Bro, you just answered all my questions. Amazing. I'm doing this because it saves me time in the questions for Alex section. I don't mind going there at all. Just lately, I just haven't really been active, just in general. All right. Bro, I love it when you talk this much. I mean, yeah, I sometimes just do it. All right, next, USD CAD. So last week I was borderline, and you know I'm gonna give you guys, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek of what is inside. Actually, you know what, we'll do it towards the end of the class. I'm gonna tell you guys what's inside the briefcase before anybody knows. Right, just gonna give you guys the heads up, and it's gonna make sense here. So. So this trade last week, we were interested in taking the trade, basically waiting for price to have the break under. And once we had the break under, then on the retest, I was going to enter the trade. Truthfully, I did not enter the trade. I think it was because of the time zone, or I'm not sure what it was. But when I was in Japan trying to execute this trade, I literally... something just turned me off. But this is a trade that I would have probably taken 10 out of 10 times. Or I think I had this rejection, but I needed a better pullback of an entry. There was something that was throwing me off on this trade completely. But if you did take it, not a bad trade. If you did, not a mistake either. It's just a trade that I would take time and time again. So this was luckily a loss that I avoided, even though it could have been a major win. I usually miss out on more wins than I do on losses, which is pretty funny. I miss out on a lot of wins, and I don't miss out on much losses. Last week, we were anticipating for price to have a push to the downside because we were expecting a counter trend trade. So I explained last week that this is a high risk trade. You are trading at the high. You don't really ever want to trade at the high. You always want to trade once price has the retracement. This is where you enter the trade to then buy. This trade up here is a very, very high risk trade and is something that could be taken, and you could accept the risk, but it's not what I recommend to how do I say it? Like I don't recommend to base your results using the set and forget strategy with these type of trades. It doesn't go hand in hand. If you guys hear me good, type 1. If not, type 2. Yeah, I'm lagging, right? My bad, guys. All right, my bad. I don't know why my internet is bad. But basically what I was saying is I would not base your results using the set and forget strategy on these type of trades. This is a high risk trade. This is a counter trend trade. These are degen trades, basically. Now you can decide to take them and accept the risk, or not take them and only take the right trades. But I would not base your results using the set and forget strategy on these type of degen / counter trend trades. I would only do it on the pro trend trades. This right here is just straight up not doing the correct thing. This is not what I teach. Like I teach you how to identify these trades, but I don't teach you how to actually trade them because they're not ideal to trade. So again, you do it at your own risk. But since I'm a fucking degenerate, I don't give a shit. I'm still interested in this market because I like how this looks right here. I love this accumulation. I do believe that this is the peak of it. And I do believe that this is going to be now the push to then the retest to then start having the massive retracement to the downside on the weekly time frame. Basically, what I'm going to be waiting on is a strong lower low. Once you have a strong lower low, I'm then going to wait for a lower high to then sell. It's basically it. Lower low, lower high, to then sell. It's literally it. Next, CAD JPY. CAD JPY, last week we were anticipating for price to retest and sell. Break and retest and sell. We had the break, but we never had the retest. So looks like this week we're having the retest, which is great. So this week last week we had the weekly bearish engulfing rejection from the EMA, rejection from the area of interest, rejection from the round psychological level, rejection from everything we want. Daily time frame went from having beautiful bullish structure to now having a lower low. That lower high is coming back, retesting once again previous or the structure level area of interest, EMA round psychological level. This is the shit you bet your motherfucking house on right here. This is the one, right? This is the one where you tell your wife, sugar, sell the ring. Sugar, sell your ass in the corner. I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke, right? The whole point is this is where the money is, right? This is where you want to put the money behind the trade, right? Now, I repeat, do not sell anything to actually take these type of trades. Like if you were risking 1%, now you go to 2%, right? I'm not talking if you're risking 1%, you're going to 50%. No. That's not how this works, right? And I want to be very clear with my communication here because this can also be a very much a losing trade. Right now, currently, it's very simple what we're waiting for. Can anybody tell me what we are waiting for? Yes, correct. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are waiting for a shift of structure at the area of interest. Now, I know it sucks, right? The higher low is down here and the higher low is right here. Wow, it fucking sucks. The 15-minute is higher low is here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is parts of being profitable, being a trader, waiting. Yes, I know you're tempted right now and you're like, fuck, it's at the area of interest. I gotta take it. I'm gonna miss it. I gotta click the sell button. I gotta fucking click it. And the answer is no. You don't. You don't have to click it right now. You gotta wait. I think that this daily candlestick will close like this. I think the next day is going to be a doji. And then I think the day after that will then be the first move. And then I think the day after that will then be the pullback. And then I think the day after that will then be the continuation of the move. Or it could just continue going up, right? We never really fucking know. What we do know is that we need to wait for that shift of structure. Yes, I get it. It looks good. I get it. She's on the way to the bar. It's looking very promising, but she's not there yet. And when she's there, she has to order a drink because, sometimes they just walk in the bar, see too many people, and then they bounce. It's not your trade. You got to wait for them to actually go in and like settle down, and then you attack. This is the same thing here. Right now, it just got to the parking lot. It's just pulling up. You got to wait for it to go inside, chill a little bit, and then boom, you fucking execute that shit. Now it could go wrong, but it can go right. Right? That's the risk we're taking out here. But what you got to know is that it's not ready just yet. So this can probably be ready tomorrow, I believe. Tomorrow London session would be perfect. This is definitely my number one pair. We're going to put it up here. Syrath, please stop asking me why my camera is off. My camera is actually on, dude. Your camera is off. You're doing something wrong. All right. This one made it to the bar. Shit. Welcome. Hello. Welcome to the bar. This is a fucking perfect counter trend trade right here. Look at this shit. Break, retest, sell. Sometimes these shits work fantastic as they do here, and you can catch them perfectly. And then sometimes they do this shit. They don't work. It's just how it goes sometimes. So this is a perfect example of degenerate trades working, and then there's those that don't. So right now, could be at the bar. I don't know. Are we there yet? It looks like we're there yet. It's not really an area of interest, if you ask me. You don't really have 3 taps. I mean, you kind of do if you come this way. You got 1 right here. I mean, you're coming back fucking 20 years, but 10 years. Eh. Borrowing. You're a savage, brother. I don't know. Is it at the bar? I mean, there's no weekly area of interest. Maybe it's a daily area of interest. Jesus. I mean, yeah, we got right here 1. Take this John off. 1, 2, 3. How big is this John? Slow. Shit. Shit. I mean, I like it, right? I don't dislike it. I like how the weekly is bullish. I don't like how the daily is still bearish. I just like how the price action looks. I'm gonna keep it there for now. I'm just gonna keep it there for now. We'll come back to it. AUDJPY, weekly rejection, daily. Oh wow, look at this. That's beautiful price action right there on the daily. That's beautiful price action. Like beautiful. Oof. Oof. This is there, but it's not good. Um, support. I mean, nah, I'm good. Euro USD. Weekly time frame. Look at that. On its way back up. Very much predictable. See you, Damien. Joseph. Please don't spam the chat, young gentlemen. Or gentlemen. Or sir. I don't like this either. USD CHF. I like this right here. Same thing, right? So this looks to me exactly like GBP NZD, right? Weekly higher high. You can expect a retracement. Weekly higher high. You could expect a retracement. Now, what a coincidence that higher high happened to also be at a level of resistance. Every single time we hit this high, we have a pullback. Every single time we hit this high, we have a pullback. We're at that high. We shouldn't have the pullback, right? We should just keep going. Obviously, the fuck not, right? We just try and, like, we look to the left and we just try and do the same shit that is to the left. Now, once again, this is a degenerate trade. This is a high risk trade. This is for those with balls of steel, those with big cojones. If you have big cojones, this is for you. If you're a lady and you have big cojones as well, this is for you too. You just gotta, be ready for this shit. You cannot judge your results based off of these type of trades. These are trades that you can say, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to take it just because I want to test my emotions, or I want to test my integrity, or I want to just put some money on the line. That's really it. You could just put whatever storyline behind you want it. But I just want you to know exactly what type of trade you are getting yourself into. Higher low, higher high. Like, this is not even bearish, right? So this is just, it's a really, really bad one. Because at least on GBP NZD, when we took this counter trend trade, at least the daily was bearish, right? Or when we were interested in taking the trade, right? Let me correct myself. Lower low, lower high. At least this was bearish. This right here is not even bearish yet. This is the higher high, higher low, higher high. For us to technically be interested in this trade, as we were on GBP and ZD, it would have to be bearish. It would have to be below this. Now, I don't know if I would even be interested in the trade there anymore because we're away from the weekly resistance at the high. But look, this is the same trade right here as on GBP and ZD. I fucking love this shit, bro. See, I love this. I love this right here. Double top, right? Break, retest, sell, right? USD CHF. You just see it right here. Double top, break. See that retest right there? Look at that trade right there, right? We're going to find that shit on the 4 hour. Look how easy that shit right there is. Retest, engulfing, so easy. I can't. Too easy. Literally just repeating itself. This trade, honestly, I would probably put the higher low here. We are definitely bearish. Lower high. I would not put that as the lower high. Yeah, we're definitely bearish. Obviously, if we would have been able to execute this trade before this mammoth of a candle, it would be perfect. 1 second, guys. All right, I'm back. So yeah, it would have been perfect to take it up here, but obviously this mammoth of a candle has already presented itself. This trade I would just be very careful with, simply because you're really just taking trade off of a resistance level, which that's a good start, but that would never define my whole entire trade. So I would wait for a little bit more confirmation from this one. For now, I'm going to leave this one here as well. We'll come back to it. GBPUSD, lower low. We're obviously on its way to create a higher high. See, this is another counter trend trade as well. We're at a bottom, obviously a very low, and we could expect a lower high anywhere in between here to then have a new lower low. So there's a potential counter trend trade somewhere in here. Daily does have a lower high, lower low. We're now bullish. See, this is a very predictable trade, in my opinion. And I used to take these trades all the time, but I stopped because I'd rather just take the actual move instead of taking this little bullshit move. Like, after this closes bullish in the next 8 hours, you could expect for this to come back, retest this structure level, and then just have the little higher high push. There's a trade there for sure. But it just turns into these little stressful trades where I'm just like having to constantly it's just not my type of risk anymore, honestly. I'd rather put my money behind something that makes more sense. But this trade is still there. Just want to let you guys know. Little quick retest and buy. It's not a bad trade. I took these trades for years, like 2 years in a row. But then I would lose more than I win. So, not interested. Euro AUD, weekly time frame. Weekly time frame. Retesting. Robbie, there is no Discord, sir. Discord is discontinued. I'm not interested in this trade. Euro AUD, I'm not interested. Arnold, please stop asking why I'm not interested. I'm not interested. AUD USD, lower low, same exact thing as GBP USD. We're at a lower low. It's very predictable that this market will have a quick retracement to then sell. There is a potential movement here that we can capitalize off of that retracement. Daily time frame, you can see the shift. You can see it going from lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low to then bullish. Same exact thing as I just mentioned on GBP USD. This is an inverted head and shoulders. An inverted head and shoulders is a reversal pattern. You could expect price to come back, retest that structure level to then buy. On the 4-hour time frame, doesn't look the cleanest, but that's just how these trades look. I'm not interested. GJ. I'm not interested in Euro CAD. Sorry, guys. GJ. Bearish. I'm not interested. Euro JPY. Lower low, lower high, lower low. Bullish. Bearish. Daily time frame. Bearish. Four-hour. Lower high. on its way to the area of interest. I mean, I like this trade. I think there's an opportunity here to enter a sell. I just don't like these fast retracement moves. Not sure if my internet. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Okay, cool. So I don't like these fast retracement moves because what ends up happening is that the higher low is very far away. So it's very hard to wait for the shift to structure. Obviously, we're looking at the lower time frame. Things could change a little bit. For me, I would just need for price to pull up to this area of interest, have a shift to structure, and then I'll be interested in selling. I'd be very interested in this trade. We can even modify the area of interest and lower it a little bit. We can probably put it somewhere like that, I believe. Yeah, something like that could work. Yeah. So for this one, waiting for the shift to structure at the area of interest. There's an area of interest on the daily previous structure level. Yeah, this could be an area of interest right here, sure. But technically right now, if this is an area of interest, we've broken through it. So we would not be interested in that. Obviously, you could still take the trade at the shift of structure there. But for me, it would just make more sense to have it at this area of interest. Not a bad trade here, but not as clean as if it were to be up here. It's a little bit more picky, but I've been more picky lately. NZD CAD, weekly time frame, weekly lower low, having now a retest of this area of interest, support, resistance, support. Daily time frame still very much bearish. 4-hour time frame is bullish. Lower high, lower low, bullish. I like this trade a lot. I don't even have to think about it that much. The only thing I don't like is you got to ask yourself, right? Everything is just asking yourself realistic questions and you giving yourself a realistic answer. After such a strong push for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, do you think 1 week retracement is going to then give us all we need in order for us to have a push? Probably not. We're probably going to need 1 week of a doji and then we'll have the push to the downside. If you just notice what we did in the last time, we had the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks of a push, 1 week of a retracement, 1 week of a retracement, 1 week fucking around, and then the push. I think that's what we're missing here. The 1 week fuck around, and then we will have the push. If that makes sense, type 1. If not, type 2. Perfect. So for now, this week, I won't be interested. NZDJPY. Testing. I'm so happy with myself. 90% of what you've been saying has gone along with my analysis. Same pairs I'm choosing. Congrats, bro. That's where you should be in your journey, man. Well, Curtis, how long have you been part of the community? Out of curiosity. 10 months? Okay. That's reasonable. That makes sense. 10 months is a really good time. Congrats, bro. It just takes time, bro. That's really what it is. Not interested. I mean, I could be, but I'm not. AUD CAD. Saying I don't think this 1 week is enough. I'm good. ZDUSD. Yeah, I know I'm lagging, guys. My bad, bro. I don't know why my internet's so bad. Okay, so same exact thing here. Lower high, lower low. This is gonna close above. Wait for the retest, and then we buy. I like this one the most, and I'll tell you why. And it's because we can have the first take profit be so far away. Like this can be our first take profit on the retracement. So let's say we do buy on this little pullback, this counter trend trade, we could have a take profit of somewhere up here. Like if you look left, it's clean fucking traffic. There's literally nothing to the left that can stop us. Nothing. And it's hit this level of support. Last time it hit this level of support, it had a push, had a retracement, and then it just went. We're literally in the same exact position right now. So there's just nothing to the left that's holding it back. Maybe this little structure point here, but after you break that, the closest structure point is this one all the way up here. So this counter trend trade is very valid compared to, let's say, AUD USD, because obviously both very similar pairs, but look how if we were to take this counter trend trade right here, how the first take profit would have to be immediately that structure level, just because that's the first point where price can hit. Rather on NZD USD, that first structure level is very far away. If that makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. Did you guys see the comparison in between the two pairs? Type 1 if yes, type 2 if no. Okay, I'll repeat myself. It's okay. So the difference between NZD USD and AUD USD is that look how much room we have to that take profit of that next structure point. Compared to AUD USD, you can see how if we were to take this counter trend trade from this point right here, our take profit would be immediately stopped right at this first structure point, because it's right where price can pull up and have a resistance level right here. It's literally where we are right now in price. And even though they are very similar pairs, NZD USD has a lot more room to the upside to get to that structure point. It's a lot further. If that makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. Perfect. Exactly. It's like a freeway. There's just less bullshit in the way to get to that point. So this is a degen trade, high risk trade, but a potential valid one. For me, I'm looking for a retracement into this area. If this daily candlestick closes above like this, I'm going to wait for a retest, then buy. I like this one a lot. Motherfuckers, I want the alerts. I know why they're doing this. They're covering their ass. But whatever. USD JPY. USD JPY currently is weekly, daily. Not a terrible trade. Little area of interest kind of going on here. They're covering their ass in case now when Trump gets elected, they don't want their software to not alert people accurately of certain moves. They're covering their ass, I believe. Or for Safari. Okay. That's what I personally think they're doing. That's what I would do. If I know there's going to be a lot of volatility in one specific time and day, I'd be like, fuck that. This shit's certain shit's not working. Okay, it's working now. My conspiracy was wrong. Trading view exposed. They heard me, bro. No, I love trading view. I mean, this isn't a terrible trade. It really isn't. Just where you're gonna put your take profit. Right here. Sure, you could. Yeah, I'm good. Not bad trade, but yeah, we got other shit going on. GBP Ah, dude, this is bullshit. I'm good. Euro GBP, higher high. Can't trade that. And I am good. All right, GBP CAD, right? That's what we started off with. That's crazy. This would have been $1 million fucking trade. It is what it is. Not interested. And back at AUDJPY. All right, let me see. All right, let me do some organization real quick. My bad, guys, for the lagginess. Trust me, I don't want this to be happening. How was Japan? Um, I'm not a city guy, right? Let's start off with that, right? I am a fucking Caribbean guy, bro. Put me on a fucking island, put me on the beach, put me in sun. Don't put me in fucking traffic, cold, and with a bunch of fucking people that I don't understand their language, right? That's just I just want to put you guys an idea, right? Put me on a fucking scooter on an island with sun and palm trees. Not freezing cold, traffic, and just a bunch of people, dude, right? So it's a complete opposite of what I'm personally into. So Japan was cool, right? It was great. But if I were to have to pick that and Jeffrey Epstein's Island, I would pick Jeffrey Epstein's Island. It's a joke. Obviously, it's a joke. It's a joke. But I would rather pick any Caribbean island, dude, honestly. I don't like cities. I hate New York. I hate London. I hate cities, dude. Who the fuck wants to live in traffic every single day, dirt everywhere? I don't know. That's just me. Like in Miami, I've never lived in the city for that same reason. I've always lived in the suburbs, like really far away. But again, this is just a personal preference, right? If I were to say this, out of all the cities that I've been to in the world, definitely Japan is one of the littest, safest. I did not be, like, I feel more safe in Japan than in my own house. I'm not even capping at all. So the safety part of it is great. The language barrier is very annoying because literally nobody speaks English. So you have to use this translator shit that barely works. And you don't know what the fuck you're reading. You don't know you don't know anything, bro. Because everything's in Japanese. Like, how the fuck do you read that? It's very difficult. Very difficult. I would rather do Dubai than Japan, for sure. For sure. Just because of that right there. Just because of the language and understanding stuff and the traffic. Japan is cool, but I won't envision myself going back there anytime soon. I'm not into anime or any of that stuff, so I wouldn't. Like I really just went to buy the car. Let me organize this. All right, so definitely top priority number one is going to be CAD JPY, waiting for shift to structure to then sell. NZD USD, waiting for retest, shift to structure to then buy. Euro JPY, shift to structure to then sell. AUD CHF, we would ideally need a shift of structure from here to then sell, or break and retest under to then sell. I like this trade a lot, but going to require some patience. USD CAD, degenerate trade. I'm going to have to wait for a lower low to then sell. GBP NZD. This one, we'll put it to the bottom. USD CHF, same thing. Waiting for a shift of structure to then sell. We could really realistically. I like GBP NZD more than USD CHF. We'll get rid of USD CHF. GBP NZD, I'm going to be waiting for a shift of structure to then buy. So shift of structure from here to then buy. Shift of structure, buy. That's the trade right there. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Do you guys want to know what is inside of the briefcase? No, I'm not gonna get kidnapped again. I fuck. Okay, I'll tell you guys beforehand. Okay, fine. All right, ready? It's right here. Let me just show you guys this. All right, here it goes. Let me actually just stop the recording.
Recording stopped.
This is what's inside of the briefcase. Only signals. So Sensei and I have decided to come together and open up a signal group. A lot of people guessed it. A lot of people didn't. A lot of people guessed it incompletely. But yes, we are officially launching a signal group. And the craziest part is that it's free. It's going to be a full free signal group. So you guys can see that we've been, Sensei and I, these are just like our friends in here. We have like 10 friends that have been just copying our signals for the last 2 months. We started sending signals in December 4th. So yeah, damn near 2 months already. Like all the signals that I've taken, all the trades that I've taken, well, the majority of them, like 50% of them that I've taken, I've sent inside of here. And you guys can see, take profit 1, take profit 2. My wins, my losses, Sensei's wins, Sensei's losses, trades that I avoided a loss. I explained why. So basically full-blown fucking signals. Everything that's inside here. So yeah, this is crazy. And it's free. Why do we make it free? We're good people, man. It's free for a month. For a whole entire month, it's free. So you can see here, GBP CAD, sell now, take profit, stop loss, and then boom, there goes the trade. So, and then these are Sensei signals. Sensei is really, really good too, guys. I don't know if you guys know, but Sensei, price, buy now, take profit, stop loss. How do you guys join? Just go to onlysignals.com. It's a crazy ass name, right? Weird, because it's close to like OnlyFans. Are we going to have access to it after the free month? If we're profitable in the free month, we will launch it to a certain group of people for a certain limited amount of time. So just go to onlysignals.com. All right, I'll do it with you guys. Literally just search up onlysignals.com. And then if you speak English, you click on English. If you speak Spanish, you click on Spanish. And then Sensei will pop up. And then you guys just watch this video if you want. It just explains all the shit that we are basically doing. You guys click join the Signal channel, and then you guys will be inside of the Telegram. Very simple, very self-explanatory. The bootcamp students get in for free. Everybody gets in for free. It's a free Signal group for a month. After the month, no, the bootcamp students are not getting for free. You guys don't have rights to that. But the fact that there's already 300 people inside of the fucking Signal group is wild. Like, this is fucking crazy. And this link I haven't sent to anywhere. Like, this is literally like we're gonna post it probably in like an hour or something. So you guys know before anybody. So I would highly recommend to watch the video before you guys start copying the signals. Please, 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 please start copying. I mean, please watch the videos. Do me and Sensei share the same trading style? No, not at all. We share completely different trading styles. Why did I decide to do signals again? Please watch the video on onlysignals.com. So yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being part of this Sunday Swings. You guys know something that a lot of people don't. You guys saw it beforehand. And I will see you guys very soon. Question, everything worked, right? Everything worked. Website worked. You guys were able to join the Telegram. Can you guys click on the training videos? Can you guys see if that shit works? Usually, shit tends to take a shit sometimes. I want to make sure it works. I'm not going to call you Adrian. Sorry, brother. I'm naked right now in the shower. Unless you don't mind. Obviously, it's a joke. All right, it's working, it's working, it's working. Onlysignals.com. Bro, I fucking love the name, dude. All right, actually, can you guys want to go follow the Instagram too? So the Instagram is Only Signals, but with an O. I mean, with a 0. So search up 0 Only Signals. Fuck. Okay. 0 ONL. Okay, I'm just gonna do it like this. It's just a lot better to do it like this.